Alali Yang Berhormat, I understand there are about 4 or 5 more members of the August House would like to participate in this debate. May I call upon Padungan, please? Honorable Member for Padungan, are you ready? Oh, yes. Batulin. Oh, hold on.
Thank you.
Honorable Member for Batu Kitang.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Dato Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity to participate in this debate on Land Court Amendment Bill 2022. I wish to congratulate Timbalan Menteri di Jabatan Premier Undang-Undang MA63 dan Hubungan Negeri Persekutuan, as well as Ahli Dewan Undangan Negeri N7 Semarang, for tabling this Land Court Amendment Bill. I wish to congratulate our YAB Premier for his political foresight and business and economic acumen when he initiated discussion on this subject with his close aides leading to the tabling of this Land Court Amendment Bill today. Honorable Dato Speaker, this Land Court Amendment Bill 2022, which includes both the airspace above Sarawak and the land below our sea, is to ensure the need to strengthen our rights in order to have control over our airspace, including but not limited to our spectrum. The airspace spectrum covers anything that goes above the air, like power cables, telecommunications, etc., of which we can have it licensed for our benefit through our State Planning Authority. To show the extent of benefits and the importance of this Land Court Amendment Bill, Telco DG paid 598 million ringgit annually to obtain this spectrum license and pay 51 million ringgit to Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, annually as well. This is the time we should take control of what we own to ensure that parties using our airspace pay for it as well and pay us. We also want to take control of the continental shelf for carbon storage so that whoever wants to store anything under the sea in our depleted gas reservoir and other spaces within our continental shelf will have to get a license from us in Sarawak. In the case of petrochemical companies which produce CO2, they need space for their carbon storage somewhere under the seabed. So for them to do so, they are now required to get a license under this Land Court Amendment Bill 2022. Honorable Dato Speaker, we have to define our land court for the benefit of Sarawak, and we want to ensure the rights of sovereignty space above our land and below the sea. What we may need to do now is to issue a license to lease our space. As it is for now, under federal laws with regards to the column of space, companies have to apply to the federal government for use of Sarawak's airspace or below the sea. With the amendment of the Land Court, everyone must seek approval from Sarawak first. We must not forget our land court is different from Malaya. In the case for anything over Sarawak or below the land, permission needs to be granted from the Sarawak government to be given to those interested companies. Honorable Dato Speaker, in today's world, environmental and climate change is an important aspect of life. The objective of the Paris Agreement on Climate Change is to reduce greenhouse emission, carbon dioxide, And one of the ways is to store this CO2 emitted by injecting into used oil wells. This is how we shall use that advantage to benefit Sarawak financially in providing space for users to store carbon credit. We are not talking about 1-2 ringgit. Oh, we are talking in the tunes of billions of ringgit and the creation of thousands of jobs here, as mentioned by the Assistant Minister for N7 Somariang. The world is producing carbon dioxide and looking for ways to store carbon. Developed nations are capable of carbon capture and finding ways to store them in parts of the world, and Sarawak is one of them. The world has recognized that this region has very little seismic activity and therefore absolutely feasible to store CO2 and other gases. Not only can we store carbon, our trees in our luxurious forests can absorb carbon dioxide through photosynthesis. We can also store CO2 under the ground and feed into our trees to produce oxygen. So should anyone want such facilities in Sarawak, they need to get our permission to do it. From there, we can monetize Sarawak into carbon fields. Honorable Dato' Speaker, allow me to share a pantun with all in this august house. Burung kenyalang terbang bebas, tinggi melangit cantik warnanya, sayang Sarawak tanahnya luas, warisan pusaka tinggi nilainya. Honorable Dato' Speaker, I support the Land Court Amendment Bill 2022 tabled by a member for N7 Somariang.
Thank you, Yang Berhormat.